Bell Chief, Gallo, or McIntosh apples, 2-pound bag, just $3.99. Fresh Purdue chicken drumsticks, $1.99 per pound. Kraft mayonnaise, 30-ounce jar, special price, $5.59. Carnation evaporated milk, 410-gram tin, only $1.59. Sargento sliced cheeses, 6.7, 8-ounce packages, hot price, $3.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, the 21st of November. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. The Court of Appeal have convicted Andrew Lake for causing the death of a New Zealand national, Mary McKee, by reckless driving. The 27-year-old drove his boat over a small inflatable carrying the pilot, an Englishman, Charlie Watson, and 2 passengers, Arthur and Mary McKee. Mrs. McKee succumbed to her injuries on June 1st last year. During the trial this summer, Lake had pleaded guilty to causing death by reckless driving. However, in error, the court was led by defense counsel Jerome Lynch, QC, to believe that they did not have to return a verdict on that offense, as the Crown had not accepted this plea and proceeded to trial on a charge of manslaughter. Deputy Director of Public Prosecution Cindy Clark indicated this morning in arguments that it meant Lake's earlier plea of guilt was legally void. He was subsequently acquitted of both offenses. The Crown appealed to the Court of Appeal, the Crown appealed to the Court of Appeal, requesting them to fix the error and to take the unusual step of substituting a conviction for causing death by reckless driving. It is the first time that the Court of Appeal have used their discretion to substitute a conviction. And faculty at West Pembroke Primary School have engaged in work-to-rule action after the Ministry of Education allegedly failed to hire a learning support teacher. They also claim a para-educator was promised for the school. However, this and other outstanding concerns have gone unanswered. Staff will only be on duty between 8:30 a.m. and 3:25 p.m. with no supervision of students provided outside of those hours. The school's Parent-Teacher Association, which supports the industrial action, has started a petition in a bid to garner support to have the teachers' concerns addressed. The petition indicates teachers are experiencing fatigue, sickness, and frustration as their requests for assistance have not been met. There are also claims of academic and behavioral concerns going unaddressed. Staff identified 39 students in need of additional academic interventions. 8 of those 39 students are in need of behavioral therapy to prevent class disruption. The BTA is calling for the reinstatement of a learning support teacher for P1 to P3 students. We reported in August that there would be a number of teacher vacancies at the start of the new school year. However, the Ministry of Education gave assurance that positions would be filled at all levels of the public school system before the start of the academic year. However, since classes began on the 4th of September, West Pembroke Primary School reportedly has not had any learning support staff, and according to the petition, there is a need for an additional para-educator. The school's PTA told us the Ministry of Education has been contacted on 5 separate occasions between September 25th and November 14th regarding these issues, but reportedly to no avail. The PTA claims they were promised an additional para-educator to assist the autism spectrum disorder class by October 29th. That date has come and gone, with that para-educator yet to be provided. In addition, teachers say they feel ill-equipped to use the new standards-based grading system due to inadequate training provided by the ministry, and the new requirement to input grades online bi-weekly with a poor internet connection at the school has been a problem. Contacted about the situation at the school, the Minister of Education, Diala Rabain, says a meeting was convened with their technical staff at his ministry, and further meetings are scheduled to take place next Monday to develop a plan to address the concerns of the staff and PTA.
I visited the school myself to talk to the principal, the deputy principal, and the teachers to get a first-hand experience of what exactly were their concerns that had been raised. We're just seeking to understand what is going on out there and and do our best to put the resources in place to address the particular concerns that the school has indicated.
But you're already aware of the concerns, and the staff were promised that you would fill these positions by the start of the school year, and that did not happen.
Jasmine, that is something I honestly cannot speak on because this is the first time I'm hearing of that. What we have had is a list of concerns that were sent to us, and none of them talked about filling promised posts. What they did talk about was things that were being put in place to address certain concerns that they had.
The matter has also been taken up with the Bermuda Union of Teachers. One of the proposed taxes under government consideration is a 5% tax on rental income with the annual rental value of at least $22,000. The Shadow Finance Minister Nick Kemp believes such a tax would be the easiest for government to collect. However, he warns it would have consequences for those who rent their homes.
I mean, if we talk about the complexity of collection, that one's dead easy. You just send everyone a bill. Your house has an ARV of $40,000, here's your bill. Prove that you live there and it's your primary homestead and you'll get an exemption. But government can shift all the pain, all the onus onto the taxpayer, but it's a very simple one to collect. It could be done, it could be started tomorrow. So that revenue could come into the kitty, you know, it would take very little to create and collect. It's eventually going to be passed on to the end user though. I mean, higher rent, you know. If you're a landlord and you're in the middle of a 1 year, 2 year lease, you're going to eat the tax during the rest of that lease. But as much as you can, you're going to try and raise the rent next year. Now, if the market's soft because we don't have any people here and there's empty houses, you're going to have a hard time raising that agreed rent without losing your tenant. And then you're left with not only a bigger bill, no income, and the mortgage is still sitting there.
Senator Kemp points out if government follows all of the proposed taxes, it would generate around $150 million a year, but it would only be enough to put a dent in the national debt.
Even when all these taxes are in place, it's going to net some $147 million a year. Right now, we're paying $180 million a year on debt interest. So all these new taxes are going to increase our tax over GDP 3%. That still is less than the amount we pay in debt. If the debt hadn't been created, not only would none of these new taxes be needed, tax breaks could be given when business is suffering, and you could still do your reshifting of the tax burden to make it more equitable or whatever the goals may be. But
we'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Do stay with us.
Bermudians use U.S. Express at mailboxes to ship their online shopping because it's up to 80% cheaper than regular couriers.
They're always willing to help. They're willing to go above and beyond. They've helped me many times with packages, to help me with invoicing and all sorts. So I love mailboxes.
Easy, convenient, and fast. The people are fantastic.
Sign up for a U.S. Express account at www.mailboxesunlimited.com today.
Join us for the annual Christmas parade Sunday, November 25th at 5 p.m. in Hamilton. Bring the whole family to get into the Christmas spirit. There will be free goodies for the kids and great entertainment for all. Experience new dazzling lights and floats as Santa makes his way along the parade route. Kick off the holiday season Sunday, November 25th at 5 p.m. with the Marketplace 2018 Christmas Parade.
The year-end clearance sale is now on at Bermuda Motors. Cargo ships bringing our 2019 models will be arriving soon. To make room, we're offering the lowest prices of the year on these models. Ford Figo, our hatchback with cutting-edge technology. Ford EcoSport, big on comfort, safety, and power. Toyota Avenza, the perfect balance of style and function. Toyota Prius C, our fuel-efficient 5-door hybrid. So hurry, prices are available until the end of the year or while our inventory lasts at Bermuda Motors.
Treat yourself and your loved ones this Christmas at Diamonds International in Dockyard. Brilliant Tanzanite couture rings, glittery Crown of Light earrings, and rings from the Crown of Light men's collection. During the holidays, there is 15 to 75% off all merchandise, and this watch as a free gift with every purchase. Plus 5% of all shopping proceeds will be donated to the LCCA charity. Come see the stunning store and dockyard and see why Diamonds International is always the perfect choice.
I'm Tony Waterman. Coming up on The Breakdown this week. Hot, hot, hot. We dive headfirst into insurance-linked securities. Billions of dollars are being raised, and Bermuda is at the center of it all. Plus, ignition. The race for space has gone commercial. We'll take a look at the role Bermuda can play in the $400 billion industry. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV 9.
It's the oldest Anglican church outside the British Isles and the oldest Protestant church in continuous use in the New World, as well as a historic and religious icon, as well as a major attraction in the former capital, St. George, which is, of course, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But the beloved St. Peter's Church is now under threat of being permanently closed, allegedly because of a decision by the Bermuda Tourism Authority. Gary Moreno tells us more.
Established when Bermuda was settled by the Virginia Company in 1612, St. Peter's has served the community of St. George's for more than 400 years. And as part of efforts to ensure its survival, we're told, the church was given a grant of $49,000 reportedly to help meet annual expenses starting in 2009. But that has been significantly reduced to $25,000 by the Bermuda Tourism Authority, which, according to Henry Hayward, the senior church warden, has now decided to withhold funding altogether starting this year.
If you keep the church open here, our budget per year is about $300,000. I don't think there's any other, I know there's no other church in Bermuda that is open 7 days a week from 10 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have groups going through here, and it's not unusual in the busy season to have 3,000-4,000 people a day go through this church. The grant has gradually been cut back and back, and we've been advised this year we will not be getting any grant whatsoever. And this is going to put us in a situation, do we keep the church open or not?
St. Peter's is the site of the first meeting of Parliament on the island. The 350th anniversary of that event was celebrated with a royal visit from Prince Charles, who at the time delivered the speech from the throne at the church. Parish priest Father Tom Slawson says the church is about to reach another historically significant milestone.
In 2020, it will be the 400th anniversary of the first meeting of Parliament in Bermuda here at the church. And we've invited a royal visit on that occasion too, and we're making plans to that end. And all of that's to say is that this church is significant to the entire history of Bermuda, and that's why we're open nearly every day of the year, and why that grant is beneficial to us to keep the doors open for our visitors.
To help meet the requirements for receiving the BTA funding, the church went so far as to develop a specific tour called Bibles and Bones. Part of the tour of the old church takes visitors beneath the actual structure to where they are shown gravestones that were collected when the church was first found. And also, there is a reenactment of the area where the bones of the former Governor Brewer were found a few years ago. Even the steps from the old church dating back to 1714 can still be seen. Jill Outerbridge helped develop that tour, which has aided St. Peter's in gaining a 5-star rating on TripAdvisor as a place of interest in Bermuda. How do you feel about the fact that you've developed this tour specifically to meet the requirements, or one of the requirements of getting this funding, and now it's being pulled?
I think it's a great shame. We've just had wonderful support over the years from the Department of Tourism and BTA, and I think Bibles and Bones has been particularly interesting. In fact, I remember that Pat Philip Fenn commended us especially for developing this particular tour. Contacted about the situation, a spokesperson for the BTA told us the Experience Investment Program is designed to help new experiences for visitors get off the ground, or for existing experiences to grow and attract more visitors. The application for experience funding received from St. Peter's Church did not meet these criteria. Rather, it was to fund the church's operating budget without any plan to deliver an experience to visitors, nor a business plan. The spokesperson added, "We appreciate the chapel's historical significance and want to ensure every visitor can enjoy a distinctly Bermudian experience at St. Peter's." The BTA has also proposed a meeting to discuss the situation. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And we hope to hear from Renee Ming, the area MP from St. George, later on in the cast. What weather now? And let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters to see how the weekend is shaping up weather-wise.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and we're getting ready to kind of go into an unsettled weather pattern as we head into the next couple of days. We have a frontal boundary draped to our south, and what's eventually going to be happening as we get toward the weekend is this front is going to lift its way north, and we will have the return of some moisture and some pretty steady rain as well. At this point, we've had some spotty showers out there, and that's also going to be the case for tonight, with the showers becoming a bit more numerous during the late night hours here. So expect a lot of those clouds to hang around the island for tonight. All right, let's get into what we can expect as we head forward here. Current conditions, temperatures are in the low 70s right now with our humidity right around 80%. The wind is out of the west anywhere from 5 to 10 knots, and the water is currently sitting at 74 degrees. Now, as far as conditions out on the water, waves inside the reef between 1 and 2 feet, waves outside of the reef between 3 and 5 feet. Although the water, not exactly the best place to be heading out to as we get into the next couple of days. You can see we have a small craft warning continuing through Friday morning, so we expect some very rough conditions out on the water, especially as the winds start to pick up. So here are your tidal times. High tide coming in at 7:09 and low tide coming in at 1:05 on Thursday morning. And as I mentioned, we will allow for a couple of spotty showers as we head into tonight. Overnight low temperatures bottoming out right around 65 degrees with partly cloudy skies. I think we have more clouds than sunshine tomorrow. Also take note to the temperature here. 73 for the high temperature, but the low temperature is 60 degrees. So we're going to see a big drop in our temperatures. In addition to that, we're also going to see the winds shifting. Right now they're out of the west. They're going to be coming in from the north. So that is going to allow for some very chilly air to start moving in toward the island here. So let's take a look at our futurecasts as we fast forward through time here. You can see that colder air ushering in from the north as we get throughout the afternoon hours on Thursday. And then eventually, as I mentioned, this frontal boundary will lift its way back to the north here, and that will give us the opportunity for, hate to say it, more rain once we get closer to the weekend, and this stuff could be pretty steady at times. So we'll keep an eye on that. And of course, we'll keep you posted right here on ZBM. All right, Jamaica, 80 or 90 degrees rather right now with clouds and sunshine. We're in the upper 80s in Barbados. No tropical development. Actually, the Atlantic hurricane season will be ending here fairly shortly at the end of the month. Into the East Coast, plenty of cold air for tomorrow for Thanksgiving Day. New York City, a high of just 30 degrees. So lots of cold air toward the East Coast, and we'll have some chilly air for us here. Low 70s Thursday, down to 60 Thursday night. Rain on Friday, highs in the 60s, although it'll feel like we're in the 50s.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition. And as I came down the water slide, I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool. And I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out, and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BF&M, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with a reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And for me, the BF&M difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
Surface Terms has been serving Bermuda for over 25 years, supplying and installing tile and natural stone. We have a large in-stock selection of beautiful porcelain wood planking, including our exclusive Bermuda cedar tile. You will also find Bermuda's best in-stock selection of countertops, including natural granites, exotic quartzites, and silestone engineered quartz in all the newest colors. Our team will be happy to help you. Stop by our showroom at 17 Serpentine Road or give us a call at 295-8005.
Christmas in Bermuda is a special time for most of us. Unfortunately, for some families in Bermuda, there's no warm Christmas. This year, many families will be in need. It's the 30th anniversary of the Lions Clubs of Bermuda and the Marketplace, helping share the Christmas spirit, so let's help take care of each other. Shop at any Marketplace, shopping center, Modern Mart, or A1 stores, and purchase extra tins of non-perishable items. Once you have purchased these items, place your food donation into Santa's bin located at the front of the store. The Lions Clubs will collect your food contributions and assemble them into hampers to be delivered to the families in need around the island. Christmas comes once a year. Help make it a special time for every family in Bermuda. Sponsored in part by the Bermuda Broadcasting Company. Share the Christmas spirit.
Going back to our previous story, Renee Ming, the Member of Parliament for Constituency Number 1, St. George's South, where St. Peter's Church is located, she's urging a rethink of the BTA's position.
Speaking with the BTA and hearing the reason why, I'm a little disappointed that they would take this decision, especially when we are trying to do many things for St. George's in terms of revitalizing it and pending Marina coming, and now we have the possibility that the church, which is in a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is the oldest Anglican church in the Western Hemisphere, which is a Queen's Chapel, may now have to close its doors every day to visitors. I would like for the BTA to reconsider and to possibly work with the members of St. Peter's Church. I mean, if they have ideas that can improve or enhance the experience at St. Peter's Church, then so be it. But I think that considering what I said to you, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the oldest Anglican church in the Western Hemisphere, and the fact that it's a Queen's Chapel, those are things that are weighty and should be considered. And if we're all trying to pull for St. George's, then we cannot be saying it in one breath over here that we're for St. George's, and over here we're pulling much needed funding for a well-known St. George's site.
And local charity Action on Alzheimer's and Dementia has been working in the community for the past 6 years in an effort to raise awareness about the diseases that reduce a person's cognitive functions as they age. Well, UK-based experts of the Dementia Training Company led a series of training exercises for police and fire crew, caregivers, and charities. There's sadly no cure for the diseases, but they say there are therapeutic ways for coping with the illness.
Dementia is on the increase. People of all walks of life are likely to come into contact with people with dementia, and the role that the emergency services has to play in supporting people with dementia is really significant. We had a session here last week with people from the emergency services as well, and they're already saying that potentially they get 2 to 3 call-outs a week from people with dementia now, requiring some help or support. So it's fantastic to have an opportunity to work with those guys. We've done training at Bermuda College as well for nursing aides and people newly coming into the nursing profession. We've done training for family caregivers and professional caregivers as well. We've met with the Minister of Health and her team and talked about some of the kind of strategic stuff around developing perhaps a strategic plan for how Bermuda is going to support people living with dementia now and in the future. But at the moment we know that social treatments are really effective, and organisations like Action on Alzheimer's and Dementia on the island here, that's very much where they're fixed towards providing meaningful activities for people, keeping people engaged. Sometimes when people have dementia, for all sorts of reasons, they may be excluded or feel excluded from what's going on around them, but it's really important that they have the opportunity to continue to do things they enjoy and be part of the community, which is, again, why it's so fantastic that we can be here to see how Bermuda, as an island, is working towards how do we embrace people living with dementia and keep them part of our community, because that could be the best treatment.
The core skills being taught during the sessions include effective communication, appropriate restraint, and identifying patient needs. However, according to the company, more action will need to be taken on a governmental level.
Every country needs to do more. Yeah, I would say that Bermuda does need to do more, but so does the UK. Yeah.
And everywhere else.
Yeah.
What do you think needs to be done?
I think general awareness across every sector needs to increase. I would strongly recommend that anybody who has a frontline service, so if they work in a bank or in a shop or they drive a bus, they need to have some awareness, because people are going to be coming into their life, into their service, who will be living with a dementia, and it's to know how to support that person and communicate with them effectively, not to judge and not to ostracize, not to make it worse.
Just to be kind.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And Bermuda is known for its kindness. There's a strong community feel, and it's about working with that community spirit to help people understand and support each other.
Still to come, Bermudian boxer Nicky Bascom heads back to the ring this weekend. We find out more about his preparations in just a few minutes.
You can count on us.
Snow White cauliflower, only $3.99 each. Fresh assorted pork chops at $3.49 per pound. Freshly baked apple or pumpkin pies, hot price, $6.99 each. Scott Comfort Plus bath tissue, 4 rolls, only $3.49. Save $1 on Vieira's Portuguese rolls, hot price $4.79. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Bermuda Broadcasting Company and lead sponsor HSBC is pleased to present the annual Christmas Boat Parade 2018. Join me, Keeble the Captain Burgess.
And me, co-host Diane Carlson, live from the flagpole on Front Street as we bring you the latest on the decorated Christmas boats in this year's competition on Ocean 89 starting at 6:30 p.m.
We'll have special guests joining us for interviews during the event. This live coverage of the Christmas Boat Parade on Ocean 89 is December 8th. This special presentation has been brought to you by lead sponsor HSBC.
I'm Tony Waterman. Coming up on The Breakdown this week. Hot, hot, hot. We dive headfirst into insurance-linked securities. Billions of dollars are being raised, and Bermuda is at the center of it all. Plus, ignition. The race for space has gone commercial. We'll take a look at the role Bermuda can play in the $400 billion industry. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. on ZBM TV 9.
Thanks for staying with us. And Bermuda's Nicky Bascom and David Martinez of Mexico are making final preparations for this Saturday night's Redemption Fight Night at Fairmount, Southampton. It's an IBA International welterweight title fight. Another welterweight fight sees Krista Dyer in action. More from the president of the Bermuda Sanshao Association, Garon Wilkinson.
Many people know that we're all eager to see Nicky Bascom back in action over the weekend, yes? But there's some interesting things happening on the undercard, right?
Yeah, I'm obviously all excited to have Nicky come back and in Redemption. From what I can see, he's looking really good, and we're all looking forward to a treat from Nicky. But on the undercard, we have a number of fights. We have a number of international matches, Bermuda versus Canada from our camp, Bermuda Sanshao Association. First up, we have Shannon Ford, who'll be in a local bout against Coleman Mills from Riga SGM. And then we have our recent gold medalist from the Pan American Wushu Championships, Krista Dyer, up against Sarah Buczek from Canada. Now, this should make for an interesting match because these two have met each other twice before, but in Sanda. So 2 years in a row, Sarah won the first match back in 2017, and Krista eventually lost to her this year, early in Barbados. And so this will be the first time that they meet under boxing rules. So it should be very interesting and a good opportunity for Krista to, tap into other elements of her fight game.
Yeah, she's no stranger to you.
No, not at all. No, I'm familiar with her style. Obviously, we're meeting under different terms this time, but it's making for an interesting preparation. I'm familiar with her, but we're playing a different game this time around.
Right. So. Boxing debut.
Yes. I thought I'd try. We've been working on my hands for a while. Obviously, they serve an important role in Sanda, and I guess it's come to a point where it's like, well, been working enough on them. Let's try them out in boxing.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So you're in that welterweight division.
I am, yes. So I fight usually on the lower end of that scale in Sanda. So I thought I'd keep to that same range for boxing.
You think it's going to be difficult to keep the feet on the ground for this one?
No. No. I got these shoes on, so it should remind me just fine.
Yeah. No kicking.
No kicking. Yeah, no kicking this time around.
Yep. Still all right with the Bermuda Sanshao Association? Yes.
Yeah, Bermuda Sanshao Association. We're doing fantastic. I mean, like any other camp for our match or tournament in Argentina, we had a 12-week training camp. Shannon Brandon Ford was very much a part of that training camp. So this fight falls about 3 weeks after our bouts in Argentina, so he was very much part of the build-up and the sparring. So we're looking forward to his match. He's had surgery on his shoulder, and you guys will probably remember his shoulder popped out against his last match against Coleman Mills. So this is a rematch. As a much different fighter this time, so I expect a much better result. But Bermuda Central Association, as always, we're looking strong and ready for the night.
All right. Good luck, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's our program for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.